Welcome to the Parenting with Grace and Grit podcast, where every week we discuss behavior and the top 3 strategies that we, as behavior analysts, suggest to work on it.
Hey, Lauren.
Hello.
Summer's here. It's summertime.
It's here.
It's crazy.
Thank goodness.
Yes, it's so nice. But we hope you guys have been able to enjoy a few days of no schedule, staying in your pajamas, soaking it up, whatever that might look like for you. We're going to start a summer series where we are going to be discussing different topics related to parents and the struggles that they might have during summer break. So our first one that we're going to talk about today is just an overall schedule, and then also getting your kids to work on school subjects during summer.
Yes. So first things first, give you guys, your family, your kids, yourself some grace. Summer transition is a big one, and everything kind of just goes awry. So, totally lost my track. So if you feel like you're wondering how to get out of the summer slump, we've got tips on how to do that. The first would be to make some sort of schedule for the week or the day if the week is too much. It doesn't have to be perfect or nearly as structured as it was before, but it is a great way to kind of help your kids know it's coming and keep some structure for them, so it's not just all this super strict schedule to like nothing. We love visual schedules. We use them with our children, so we talk about them all the time because we really, obviously with our clients over the years and with our own children, see the benefit of them. So it's like banging your head on the wall, but we're going to keep saying it because they really do work. The best way to do a schedule is like with a visual schedule with either pictures for younger kids or just write it out for your older kids. And you can make a family one or each individual to your child's needs as well. And then you can also get a little marker of some kind. You can like cut out a picture of their head and move it day to day, or just have a picture of something they enjoy so that you can move from activity to activity or day to day. Have your kids be involved from the beginning to the end. Like have them make the list of what they want to do that day or that week, and they can help you create the schedule and put the activities on it. Just giving them some autonomy over that can really help make them take some ownership and get excited over it. And then it's just there. They can go look at it anytime to see what they've got going on.
Yeah, and it can be really helpful if they have camp or if you have, different activities, but getting them involved. And even if it's, they telling you things that they want to do this summer, you can put them on that list, or maybe just put them to the side, like these are things we want to do, and then maybe see if you can fit it into your week or something like that. But what we hear from a lot of parents is that when kids are home from summer, that is when the rules are relaxed, and it's typically when parents will see a spike in problem behaviors or just feel like it's hard to work on those things that you kind of had under control during the school year, which is typical because it is, like Lauren said, such a big transition. So we're going to talk about how to combat some of those changes. And the first would be to kind of determine what your non-negotiables are. So where do you feel like your biggest pain point with summer is, and then kind of go from there. But today we're going to pretend that you've determined that biggest pain point is working on like school related activities or learning throughout the summer. And the first thing that we would suggest doing is if they aren't interested in doing their school, you feel like you're telling them, they're arguing with you, you are just having like this point of contention with them getting their schoolwork done, would be to make it more fun for them. So maybe create a basket with their 5 school activities that they have to do that week, or a daily basket that has to be done. This way, everything that they need is there for them. They're not having to wait on you to get scissors or to get the materials or print out stuff. It's just all ready for them to go. And the why is because this creates that motivation for them, and it makes it really easy, and it's just all together. So because they don't want to do it, the easier we can make it for them, the more likely they are to engage in that. So if you can make it fun, make it motivating for them, like a special little basket that they get to choose from, or, pick out their things, it's going to be much more pleasant.
We know how important it is to continue that learning through the summer, but the kids in their brains, I think, kind of turn that off and are like, well, now I don't have to think about a thing. But we can keep them going. That'll make the next transition back into school easier. Our next strategy is just to give them some autonomy over the activity they do or what time they're going to do it, or any way they can, because if they have a little bit of control over it, they're going to be much more willing to do it. Going along with that, even if they have the control over what they're doing or when they're doing it, you want to make a contingency around it. So they are going to get something special after they do the activity for school. But that special fun activity that they get cannot happen until they get their work done. So you have to really be strong in that. Otherwise, it's all going to go away. They're not going to want to do it at all. But if you make something that they really love contingent on that each day of the week, then you're going to have much more luck. And then lastly, just a way to phrase it is a first then statement. We call it the PREMAC principle, and it's basically making that contingency clear to them, very clear. So first you're going to do your work, then you get to go outside and play. And you do that every morning, and then you just keep really strong in that every day, and they'll get the hang of it, and you won't have to fight them a couple weeks in, or hopefully even a few days in. But some of our friends are a little bit more hard-headed.
Yeah. And if you feel like they are one of those hard-headed, so might not be as easy for you to give them that autonomy. So that's when the autonomy in that case would be they're picking the activity they're doing versus when they get to do it. And if they're older and can kind of manage themselves better, then that's when you can be a little bit looser with that and say, as long as it's done by lunchtime, then, we're good, or you can still earn your treat or your outside time or whatever it is that they're earning for doing that schoolwork. And the same thing can go for reading too. Reading's kind of coupled in that. A lot of when you're in elementary school, you have to be reading throughout the summer. So, you could put the books that they're supposed to read, but maybe just put like tokens of how long they have to read. So, maybe they have to read for 15 minutes. You put 5 tokens, 5-minute tokens in their basket, and they can decide when they do those reading times until before lunch or whatever, however you decide to structure it. Okay, now it's time for our Grace and Grit guidance segment, where we give advice to situations pertaining to the topic from listeners. It's always anonymous, and if you want to write in, you can email us at graceandgritbcs@gmail.com. Hey, Grace and Grit, my preschooler is missing school now that it's summer break. I don't want to be super structured during the summertime since it's our time for fun and relaxation, but she really seems to want to have some learning time. Should I try to incorporate this into her day or just continue to go with the flow? So the first thing I would say is if they're a preschooler, the best way to learn at that age is definitely through play. So, you can incorporate some of those things that you want to that are school related, or you could have, some circle time in the morning. But basically, there's no need to have like a super structured morning where you're, doing exactly what she would have done in preschool. I think you'll probably find that would be overwhelming for her anyways. I don't know. And then the
And
other
for you.
Yeah, a lot for you. The other thing would be we have our social group coming up in July. So if you are local to Atlanta, she could come to social group for 3 hours every Monday in July. And that will be so much fun. We're really looking forward to that. Lauren, anything that you would like to add about this topic?
Yeah, I would just say if you want to go with the flow, she'd probably adjust to that. But if you do want to incorporate a little bit of structure, that's good too. I would just keep an eye on what is her behavior doing. So if she's suddenly having a lot more problem behaviors, that might mean that you want to make a little more structure in your day for her, or use that schedule with built-in activities so she kind of knows what to expect. And if that doesn't work, then please email us because we can help you figure it out.
Yeah. So that's our episode. If you have questions about summer, please email us or message us on Instagram. I don't even know if you can message on YouTube, but leave a comment. And if you need help or just have additional questions, you can always email us at graceandgritbcs@gmail.com. We also have free resources on products on our website. Visit us at parentingwithgracegrit.com. And thank you so much for listening to the Parenting with Grace and Grit podcast.
Thank you.